Picture this. It's 2009, on the desolate West Mesa of New Mexico. A woman is out walking her dog when it uncovers a human bone. That single, grim discovery would unravel one of the most haunting serial killer cases in American history, leading police to a mass grave holding 11 women and an unborn child. For years, the case of the West Mesa Bone Collector went cold. But now, what if a powerful AI claimed it had finally cracked it? Imagine an algorithm sifting through mountains of data to point a finger at one single suspect. The only problem? Its conclusion is an ethical nightmare, and it might represent an even greater injustice to the women who lost their lives. This isn't just about one cold case. It's a story about the hidden dangers of trusting machines with our deepest questions of justice. It's about how the very technology we designed to find answers can end up repeating the same biases that left these women vulnerable in the first place. To really get why the AI's solution is so troubling, you have to understand the case it was trying to solve. It all started on February 2, 2009. A woman named Christine Ross was with her dog, Ruka, when the dog found what looked like a human femur. She called the police, and what followed was a slow, horrifying excavation. Over the next few weeks, investigators unearthed a makeshift cemetery. One grave after another revealed the skeletal remains of 11 different women and one unborn child. The discovery of a serial killer, dubbed the West Mesa Bone Collector, rocked the city of Albuquerque. The investigation was massive, but it was also incredibly difficult. The remains had been there for years, buried sometime between 2001 and 2005. Investigators speculated the cause of death was strangulation, but with no soft tissue left, it was almost impossible to be certain. There was no real crime scene, just a dumping ground. But these weren't just bones, they were people. They were daughters, cousins, and mothers whose families had been searching for them, in some cases for years. As forensic experts started the painstaking work of identification, a tragic pattern began to emerge. 10 of the 11 victims had ties to sex work and had struggled with drug addiction. They were women living on the margins, which made them incredibly vulnerable targets. There was 22-year-old Michelle Valdez, who was 4 months pregnant when she disappeared. Her father remembered her smile, saying that when she walked into a room, it lit up. There was Victoria Chavez, who loved to go hiking and camping, and Veronica Romero, described as funny and intelligent. And there was 24-year-old Doreen Marquez, whose daughter Destiny remembered her mother's long, gorgeous hair and called her an amazing woman. The list of names is a litany of heartbreak: Monica Candelaria, Virginia Cloven, Cinnamon Elks, and Julie Nieto. 2 of the victims were just teenagers, 15-year-old runaway Selania Edwards and 15-year-old Jamie Barella, who vanished with her 27-year-old cousin Evelyn Salazar after they left a family gathering. For their families, the years of not knowing were a special kind of torture. After her daughter Evelyn was finally identified, her mother said, "It's real hard because I've been waiting for 5 years hoping that she's going to come back." These women weren't defined by their struggles. They were loved. And for years, their families waited for a justice that never came. The police did identify a couple of persons of interest. One was Joseph Blee, a serial rapist already in prison who apparently knew some of the victims. Another man, Lorenzo Montoya, was also considered a prime suspect. He had a history of violence against sex workers and lived near the burial site. The disappearances seemed to stop right after Montoya was killed in 2006 by a man he was trying to rob. But with Montoya dead and very little physical evidence to go on, no charges were ever filed. The West Mesa case remains officially unsolved. This is where our hypothetical scenario begins. Cold cases like this, buried in thousands of pages of reports and forensic data, are exactly the kind of puzzle we're told AI is meant to solve. AI can analyze huge datasets in seconds, finding connections that a human might miss. We've already seen AI and genetic genealogy crack famous cases like the Golden State Killer by building family trees from crime scene DNA. So, let's imagine a powerful new AI program, we'll call it Casecracker, is set loose on the West Mesa files. It scans every police report, interview, and forensic file. It cross-references everything with public records, social media, and genetic databases. And after weeks of processing, it spits out an answer. It identifies a single, living person as the killer with 92% confidence. On the surface, this feels like the breakthrough everyone has been waiting for. But this is the moment we have to stop and ask the most important question. How did the AI get here? This is where the solution becomes an ethical nightmare. The first huge problem is data bias. An AI is only as good, or as bad, as the data it learns from. If the historical data is full of human bias, the AI will learn and even amplify those biases. Think about the victims here. Most were Hispanic women connected to sex work and drugs, a community that is historically overpoliced and underprotected. Criminal justice data is notoriously skewed by decades of human prejudice in arrests and convictions. So when Casecracker analyzed all that data, what patterns did it really learn? It might have concluded the killer was someone who often interacted with sex workers. It might have given more weight to people with prior arrests, even for minor things. It might have drawn a line around low-income neighborhoods. An AI isn't thinking, it's just matching patterns. And if those patterns are already stained with prejudice, its conclusion will be too. It might not point to the real killer, but to someone who just fits a biased profile, someone from the same marginalized community as the victims. The system risks becoming an echo chamber for the exact societal failures that made these women vulnerable. The second issue is the AI's black box methods. We often have no idea how an advanced AI reaches its conclusions. That lack of transparency is terrifying in a justice system that depends on due process. You have the right to confront the evidence against you, but how do you cross-examine an algorithm? Worse, these systems can hallucinate. They can literally make up information to fill in gaps. In a case like this where evidence is thin, the AI might invent connections, linking a suspect to the area with faulty data or misreading a vague witness statement. It creates this powerful illusion of certainty from a foundation of digital guesswork. When a machine gives an answer with 92% confidence, humans tend to believe it, even if it feels wrong. That's called automation bias. And that leads to the third, most devastating problem: perpetuating the injustice. The whole point of solving this case is to bring justice to the victims and their families. But what if the AI's answer does the exact opposite? By flagging a suspect based on biased data and secret methods, it doesn't solve a crime, it just creates a new victim. Investigators could get technology-induced tunnel vision, focusing so hard on the AI's suspect that they ignore other leads, letting the real killer walk free. An innocent person could be named, their life ruined, based on a faulty algorithm. For the families, it's a false hope, a neat, tidy answer that might be completely wrong. It's a high-tech ghost story that distracts from the truth. Instead of honoring the victims, it uses their tragedy to sell a system that might be just as prejudiced as the society that failed them. The injustice isn't just that the AI might be wrong, it's that it could be wrong for the same reasons the case went cold in the first place. The use of AI in criminal justice isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. It's happening right now. Police departments are already adopting these tools. And while the technology has incredible potential, the ethical guardrails are lagging way behind. We have to demand transparency, accountability, and serious bias testing before we let algorithms decide who is guilty or innocent. If you find this intersection of true crime and technology as important as I do, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. Your engagement helps push these conversations forward. So, did an AI really crack the West Mesa case? No. But this thought experiment reveals a disturbing truth. AI can be a powerful tool, but it's not a magic wand for justice. It's a mirror. It reflects whatever data we feed it, biases and all. An AI can't replicate human intuition, it can't understand empathy, and it will never grasp the complexities of a human life. The real answer isn't a suspect's name generated by a machine. It's in the slow, difficult, and deeply human work of investigation. It's in listening to the families, re-examining old evidence with fresh eyes, and never forgetting the people at the heart of the case. The stories of Michelle, Victoria, Doreen, and all the victims of the West Mesa Bone Collector demand more than a quick tech fix. They demand true justice, untainted by the biases of man or machine. The West Mesa case is still open, and the Albuquerque Police Department still has a tip line for anyone with information. As we move into an age that promises easy answers to hard questions, cases like this are a vital warning. What do you think? What role should AI have in our justice system? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.